Hey everybody, Amber Taylor here, and I'm super pumped that you've decided to join our Summer Success Summit. I am one of your Canadian Board of Directors members, and today I'm going to be sharing a lot of information about Square and how it's going to maximize your business. I also got a tip at the end that's going to help you kind of stay organized, but also make sure you're making a profit. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to start by setting up Square. So you could find the link to Square under your My Business tab in the COO and under My Business Partners. You could also go to the link squareup.com/signup/CA for Canada. So start by creating an account with your business email. So if you haven't created a business email yet, I would definitely do that now. So it can be something like Pure Romance by Amber, whatever you want to make that business email, just try to make it professional and memorable. And then when you get moving, so you've added your business information, your business email in there, you've created a password, and then you're going to go to continue. In this Square setup, and some of you may be like, whoa, Amber, I've already got Square. I've been kind of using it. That's fine. I'm just going to go over the setup really quick for those of you who have never set this up. So I recommend quick setup. So that's going to allow you to set up some online sales, pickups, deliveries, invoices. That's the main thing, and collecting payments. All right. So quick setup is what I recommend for most of us. That's what I use. Super simple. And you could add things on if you want to later on as well. And then I also just recommend the two top ones here. So when you get to this next section, you're going to accept credit cards over the phone. You're going to be able to send invoices. You could do the other things, but honestly, this is all you need. And you could add those other things later if you kind of want to dabble into that kind of sections. But like selling gift cards, stuff like that, that's costs extra money. Square does not cost you anything to set up, by the way. It is absolutely free to set up. The only time you're going to get charged anything is when you accept a payment. So when you accept a credit card payment, Square will take the full payment and then put the difference in your bank account. So like it's like 2% or something like that. So just double check the percentage, but honestly, like, so you may charge $100 to a customer and Square will keep $2. Like, super worth having Square, and I'll go into why. And then next step, you're going to choose what device you're going to use this on. So I personally would choose both phone, tablet, and computer. All right. So make sure you choose both, even if you're like, but Amber, I'm always going to use my phone. Honestly, that's totally fine, but you want to be able to grab a computer if you need to too, if you're like on the go or something like that and you're out of, I don't know, maybe your phone dies, you know? So make sure you choose both. That is what I would recommend for setup. And then the tell us about your business. This is where I get most of my questions from my team when they're setting it up. They're like, what kind of business? I don't know what to choose. My sex toys isn't there, you know? So I recommend just choosing retail, specialty shop, and then name it. So Pure Romance by Amber, just Pure Romance by your name is totally fine. You can even just put your first and last name is totally fine. And then anything optional, I usually just don't even touch. I'm like, no, it's optional. I don't need to put it there. And then estimated annual revenue. This is not optional. So you could you're like, I don't know how much I'm going to sell. I don't know how much I'm going to make. It's just an estimate. Just pick a number. 10 to 50,000 is usually pretty good. All right. So that's for your whole year. And then we're into the meat and potatoes. So there's a little bit more of the setup side. Once you get past this, you're going to get into the account. It's going to ask you to kind of set up your bank account. You're going to want to do that. So I recommend having just a separate checking account. You can use like Koho. They're usually pretty good. They're online banks, super easy to transfer. And but whatever, you could use your regular bank account. Just have a separate checking account for your business and set that up through Square. So they're going to send you like 20 cents. You're going to accept, they're going to take 20 cents back just to make sure the bank account is working. So when you start accepting payments, now it's going to go directly into that bank account. So it makes it super easy to manage your funds. All right. So once you get those payments, you can place your orders. Super, super easy to make that all happen. All right. So that is not on here just because I didn't want to go that far in the screenshots. All right. So once you've got your bank account all set up in there, you've set up Square, everything's good. We want to import the product list. All right. So the link in this slide is a link to the full product list, the current product list, up until May 28th. That's when I'm recording. So the full product list is going to be there at that link. If anything's been added since between now and the time you're watching, you could just add those in individually. All right. So in order to import the whole product line, you're going to go to your item library. So on your menu, you're going to go to your item library. Under items, you can click actions. Now, sometimes if you're just getting started, if you've never added an item before, you probably just see import right on the main screen. So then you're going to import library, grab, once you've downloaded the file from the link, go ahead and upload it. So you're going to import library and then find that file. All right. So super simple. This has to be done on a computer though. You can't do this on a mobile device. So make sure you're doing this part on your computer. Okay. So once you've added the file, you're going to get prompted to this screen and it's just going to show you like your item name, what field it's taking it from the file, your variant name. The variation name is actually like coochie, and then it'll be all the scents of coochie. Okay. So then hit continue or hit upload, then continue, and boom, we have your item library. Okay. So once your item library is in there, you're going to want to add your sales tags. So depending where you live, this is going to be different. I'm in Ontario. We have HST, it's 13%. So I'm going to go ahead under the same tab, the items tab, click on sales tax, and I'm going to create a tax. Okay, so you could create multiple taxes. Maybe you live close to a border and you're constantly, maybe you're selling in Quebec and you're selling in Ontario, like whatever that is, you can put both. But for this example, I'm just gonna put the one. So HST and then enable tax. And the important thing here is if you're mainly doing parties in your area, especially, you could switch between taxes if you need to, but go back in. So you've created the tax. Now you're going to go to the menu. You're going to see the tax that's behind this little box, but you're going to want to click apply to items, select all, and apply to all items. So this way here, your main tax you use all the time for your area is going to be applied to each and every item. If you have the one-off order, you could change it. But really, it's going to be super simple. Just add this tax, add it to all items, and click apply to all items. Now, each item automatically has the tax applied to it. You don't even got to think of it at checkout. Okay, it's all done. Super easy. Okay, so make sure again you're doing this section on a computer. Really important to just get this section done, and then listen. You can go mobile after this. All right. Cool. All right. So then we want to create discounts. So the discounts you can create on a mobile device if you want to. I personally think it's super simple just to create a bunch of discounts right away and then just get it out of the way. So you could create different discounts. You could use a dollar amount or a percentage amount. You can do multiple. I think I think in my square, I've got like 30 different discounts. Got like $5 off, $10 off, $15 off, 10%, 20%, 30%. Like I just got all these different discounts. So you could use these and then apply them to a single item. But if you want to apply them to a single item, you have to have these set up before you get to your invoicing. Okay, so special deals like $5 off, host a special discount, 25% off. Maybe you're like, when you get to a certain amount, I'm gonna give you 25% off one item. Whatever you wanna do. Okay, so that is where you add your discount. So your items, your discount, your sales tax, it's all under the items tab. All right. So now we're going to get into adding customers to your square. So you could do this from a mobile device. If you're going to import a bunch of customers, you could do this from your computer. It'll be available on your computer. There are two ways to enter customers. So you could do it through the customer tab, or you can do it through the order invoice tab. All right. So generally, if you have like a list of customers in a spreadsheet, you could just upload the whole list with the spreadsheet. All right. If you're just going to do like I did, like when I started using Square, I just slowly added people in as they ordered. So I just slowly added them in. So I just used the invoice section. But if you're going under the customer section, you're going to go to customers, create customer, plop in their information. You definitely need a phone number and email. I mean, I recommend both, but you definitely need a phone number and email in order to create an invoice for the customer. And then click save. Super simple and straightforward to add customers. And you could import them like your item list that we just did. And then you want to personalize your invoice. So you're still kind of setting up Square at this point, right? So when you go under invoices, in the invoice tab, so on your little menu, click the invoice tab, go to settings, click on invoices and new template. So you're just going to create a new template here. All right. Once you've created that new template, and it's going to kind of look like this, this is how you're going to customize it. So your message will be in here. Mine says, thank you for your order. If you prefer to pay with email money transfer, simply email your payment to pureromancebyamber@gmail.com. Join my VIP group for future deals and fun. Facebook.com/group/sizzling. And then my information. So Amber Taylor, my phone number, my email, and my website. So they get all the meat and potatoes, all of my information. They know exactly how to contact me. And this will sit in their email, all right, because they've gotten their invoice. So use this and then create a default template for it. So when you save this template, you'll go back to this screen and then you can choose to create a default template. All right, so that will be your default. So this says Square Invoice default template. When you add a new one, set that one up as your default. Every time you go and do an invoice, now it's going to be this message on your invoice. And now that you're set up, you're like, oh my gosh, Amber, I'm so done with being on the computer. Now that you're set up, you can do business from anywhere. All of your items are in there. This whole thing is mobile friendly. Square has an app. It's so easy. I can be on the go. I could be driving in the passenger seat and taking orders. I could be at camp taking orders. I could be in line at the grocery store taking orders. It doesn't matter where I am. I can set up an invoice. I can send the invoice and I can get payment. Boom, like that. The customer's like, wait, what just happened? Yeah, that's right. I'm that fast. All right. So super easy and mobile friendly to be able to do your business anywhere. And that's the beauty of Pure Romance. We can work from anywhere. Go to the beach, work from the beach. Go to the pool, work from the pool. Wherever you want to work your business, Square is going to be able to do that for you. All right. So under your invoice tab, this is where the meat and potatoes and the magic starts to happen. So under your invoice tab, you're going to choose to create an invoice. You can then search for your customer. So if you've added a bunch of customers already, you could search for your customer or create an invoice. And if you start searching and your customer doesn't populate, it'll ask you to add a customer. Just add. Super simple. Add all their information and boom, they're in there. All right. And then you can also, like when I'm using my parties connection cards. Okay. So virtual parties right now, all of Canada, right? So, or mostly, I think. I don't know. I'm just doing virtual. So I have a virtual connection card on Google or Google Forms. So I just download that virtual connection card after every party, and I upload all the customers into there to make it simple. So once once the initial jump of them all filling out the connection card happens, I download it and I upload it so I don't have to enter all their individual information. So you could do it that way as well. So when you're in the invoice, I always add an invoice title. Okay, so if I'm doing a party, it's going to be my hostess's name, and it's just going to say Heather's party. All right, if you don't put an invoice title here, and this will look a little bit different on mobile, the invoice title is way at the bottom. So just scroll to the bottom, find the invoice title, and just add, if it's a hostess's party, I just put her name and party so that I can pull up all of the hostess's guests. So if I'm doing multiple parties at a time, this makes it so much easier to manage. And then when they're done ordering, I just grab their orders and I add up the subtotal. I take off the shipping. I'll show you that in a second. And now I have my party total. So if her party was $500, I know, okay, cool. You have $50 to spend. What would you like? All right. So a little bit of manual for the hostess, but I mean, it's no different than paper, right? So adding up the hostess's credits, that's the one manual thing you'll have to do with Square. but it's totally worth it. I'm telling you, it's totally worth it. So, if it's not a hostess and you're like, well, I don't know what to do. Maybe you did grab bags. So I'm like, my invoice title will be grab bags or Pink Friday, like whatever that theme I was doing. Or if it's just a random outside order, it's just OS. That's all. So simple, so that it's easy for me to manage and keep track of. If you forget to put an invoice title, totally fine. It's just going to populate a general number. All right. So once you have their information, you've created your invoice title, you're going to start to add items. And because you've uploaded the product item list, everything's going to be in here. So you just add an item in this section, start typing it, and it's just going to populate. So if you type coochie, add coochie, and then it'll pop up a box that's going to say, what scent do you want? And you could choose the scent you want. You could choose the quantity. I personally never put 2 quantities. Even if they're buying 2 Coochie Love Stories, I add it twice because I know I'm going to miss the number 2 when I am packing their order. So I'm just like, nope, I'm just going to do this. and then just add every line item on a different line. All right. So you start adding your items. Now don't forget to add shipping. Square doesn't allow us to put shipping on the bottom here where your subtotal and tax are. So I added it as a line item. I hope that changes sometime, but for now it's a line item. So then when you're going to add up your guest orders for your party, you're going to take the subtotal 401 minus 9. Okay, so you're going to add them all up and then minus 9 for or whatever your shipping is for the amount of orders you collected. So if you collected 10 orders, you're going to minus $90. Okay, so then that's how you get your hostess credit. So super it's straightforward. It takes a second to just jot it down. So don't forget the shipping, and then you're going to go ahead and send your invoice. Now, once you've sent your invoice, they're going to get that message, right? Whoops. They're going to get this message here, and they could either choose to email transfer you, or they can pay directly through the invoice. So they get an invoice in their email, or you can send them a link, and they could pay securely with a credit card right through the invoice. You no longer need to call them and collect a credit card number. You don't have to write anything down. You don't have to do anything. You just send it to them. So what I normally do is I shoot them a message saying, hey, I just sent your invoice. You can pay securely through the invoice with a credit card, or if you prefer, you could send an email money transfer. Done. That's it. And most of the time they're like, oh, you take email money transfer? Yeah, I'll do that. So then you just don't even pay the fees with Square, but you sent them an invoice. So then you just go onto your invoice. Once they've sent you money, click apply payment and apply cash. That's it. Done. And then it shows paid. All right. So love this. It just simplifies my business. Like I can be anywhere, send an invoice, and my payments are just coming through. So, and then it also sends auto reminders, and you could set that up if you really want to get technical, send an auto reminder 2 days later, and maybe she forgot, maybe she was on the go too, and she was like, okay, I'll do that when I get home, and she forgot. It's going to automatically email her in a day or two saying, hey, you still have an unpaid invoice. And it's just automated. Can you tell I love Square? I just love Square. Okay, so applying a discount to an invoice. If you want to apply a discount, you can apply a single discount, or you could choose to apply a discount to the whole entire order. So if I'm just going to apply one discount to one product, like main attraction, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click customize. So you'll see that here. So you see customize beside each and every item. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click customize. Now I can add a note, maybe, whatever you're doing the discount for. It could be like Hostess Deluxe Toy. It could be anything, but your discount will show there what you named it. So you could apply whatever discounts you have entered in the discount section. So they have to be entered in the discount section before you get to this point. If you get here and you're like, oh crap, I don't have a discount like that, save the invoice as a draft because you've already gotten through it. Go back into the discount section, add the discount you want, go back into your invoices, click on your draft invoices, and then just open it up again and just start from where you left off. It's super simple. And then click done. And then your invoice will have main attraction with a 25% off deal. And it's just going to be applied to main attraction. Now, if you want to do a deal, maybe you did a VIP special and today only you get 10% off your entire order. You could use the discount section at the bottom. So you'll see here at the bottom, there's an add discount. you could actually, that's just going to add a discount to your total. So what I'm using this for is like, I'm going to give you 10% off your whole order today only. Click add discount. You could add a label to it. You can make it a dollar amount. Maybe it was just $5 off because you did a draw in your VIP group or something like that. Or maybe it's a percentage. Okay. And then just add, and it's going to add it right here at the bottom. Now, this is also the section that I use for my hostess. So I'm going to, when I get her $500 party and she gets $50 off, that's normally where I put it. I just write in the discount name, hostesses credits, and then I put dollar amount $50. Okay. And then just add. And then any other discounts that she might get on different items, I do that individually. So applying discounts, once they're set up in the discount section, is super straightforward. All right, let's move on. Okay, so you could view all of your invoices under the invoice tab. So click on your invoice tab, click invoices, and in there, you're going to see every single invoice that you've had recently. So I've blocked out the names for privacy purposes, but this is a real snapshot of my recent invoices. So it shows, like I have a couple I missed putting. Sometimes I'm in a rush and I'm like, forget to put the title. But like Vicky's Party, OS stands for outside order. All right. So these will all be here and they'll show paid, unpaid, or draft if it's a draft. If you're using a mobile device, draft is at the little top. You have to click it to see the draft separately. Okay. So if you're like, Amber, I just saved this and it's gone. If you're using a mobile device, you're going to see it at the top. Just click on drafts at the top. And it's just separated. So you'll also see it'll be red if it's overdue. And you could do partial payments. Like I can go on for days when it comes to Square and invoicing. Just trying to keep it simple and quick. All right. So you could do the setup reminders like I had mentioned, and any invoice that's not paid, it can be edited. Once it's paid though, you can't edit your invoice anymore. So you could duplicate it. You could, if she's like, oh my gosh, I forgot to add blah, blah, blah. I just create a new invoice and I don't charge her shipping. I'm like, I just did this invoice. So just make sure you order both things from both invoices. All right. So all of that is all in here. Now, Square will manage your inventory if you're carrying inventory, or you could just leave it to not. That's totally up to you. But I just print off my invoices. I look at what's on each of the invoices. I highlight what I need to order. I pull out what I have in inventory on my shelf, and then I just go through my invoices and I order from the COO. Super straightforward. Okay, let's move on. This is the magic. Oh my gosh, this is the magic. Reservicing your customers with Square is so easy. Yep. I find it easiest to do this on a computer, but I am a computer person. You can, I believe, do this on a tablet or mobile device, but under your customers, okay, you're going to go to filters, and this is how you're going to reserve. You choose an item, Coochie, Body Dew, whatever item you want to choose. Okay, so I choose Coochie Shave. Is going to populate everybody, so 170 customers that bought Coochie, doesn't matter what scent they bought. All right. And then filter that out and view customers. Once I have that list, I can then go through it and be like, message. I've got a special on Coochie. Do you need a refill? Or if it's been a couple of months, oh my gosh, it's time for a refill, right? I've got a special just for you. This is going to be amazing for reservicing. You could go through and look at cleaner. You could go through and look at lube. Whatever consumable items that you have in here, oh my gosh, you should be doing this at least once a week for different products. All right. And then you just text. Text seems to be the go-to for people. That's what they're checking mainly. Or if you have them on Facebook Messenger and you normally chat with them there, pop in there, message them, be like, hey, I got a deal. But this allows you to just populate everybody who ordered a certain product. Yeah, that just happened. I love Square. Can you tell? I love Square and reservicing. All right. So that's what I got for you for Square. I could keep going for days. So, I mean, if you want to learn more, anything like that, send me a message. But seriously, Square has so many tutorial videos that you could learn anything you want. Go on their tutorial videos. Go search on YouTube. Like you could find it how to do anything on Square. This is just how I've set it all up to run my business and make it work for me. Okay. I do this at my parties too. So when I do in-person parties, I have this Square app open on my phone. I do everything. And then you could then transfer it over to like your swiper thing and then just swipe for their payment. But their invoice is there. I don't got to do paper. I don't got to hand them like a bunch of stuff. Make sure you just have the disclaimer at the bottom of your message that says like they have 10 days or whatever, or 21 days or whatever that message is at the back of the invoice. Just copy it. I have a paper invoice here. So your buyer's right to cancel, just throw that on the invoice so that it's there. So when they get the email, they see it. They'll see it when you're creating the invoice. So just have that ready for them. And then boom, that's it. At the party, I pull out what they need. I use the notes section for what I might have to have back ordered, or if you're just ordering in everything, you know exactly, I just got to order everything on this invoice. All right. So you could do this at a party as well. Okay. I told you I had a bonus tip for you. I have a bonus tip. I'm done with Square, but I have a bonus tip. So listen, it is crucial. You have a business, you're running a business, whether it's part-time, full-time, it doesn't matter. You got to keep track of it. And you also want to know if you're profitable, right? I hear so many people say, I'm just quitting. I'm not making any money in this business. You know, I'm not earning anything. I'm out. When in reality, they are making a profit. They're just not seeing it. They're like, they might be buying extra stuff or spending the money before it hits the bank account kind of thing. Like you just may not realize that you are making a profit. So super important that you keep everything organized, and you can pull this information. So I am the link on the bottom to the spreadsheet. This is just a simple spreadsheet. I am not a tax professional, but listen, this is going to help you at the end of the year for taxes anyway, when you bring it to your accountant. All right. So at the top here, you're going to see gross income. So in the spreadsheet, you'll have months like January to December, and then you can put your retail order. This you can populate from Square. Shipping collected, if you are not including it in the retail order, you want to separate it. HST or sales tax collected, whatever. You could have that or not. It's totally up to you. These are just suggestions. Your override bonus and web commissions. So anything you got from corporate that they sent you a check for, free product credit, that's considered income. So throw that on there. Additional discounts on your orders. So this is also like you could, if you got an extra 10% off, you could throw that on there. And then that's going to help you to kind of see your true profit. And then these are expenses that you might typically use. So you may be like, Amber, I'm only going to use 5 of those. Totally fine. This is just kind of to get your wheels going like, oh, right. Oh yeah, I could use that. Oh, I could probably use that. So, but talk to your tax professional. I'm not a tax professional. This is just helping you stay organized so that when you're ready to go to your tax professional, you have everything there. You're not just throwing them a box of receipts and going, here, good luck, right? Because you've organized it by month. And here you'll see on the spreadsheet underneath what the screenshot shows, it's going to show you your net income. So basically your gross profit less your expenses, and then you'll see your net income. Super easy way to stay organized with your income and expenses for the end of the year. So I use Square to populate the gross income, and then I just manually do the expenses with any receipts I might have. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope that everybody dives into Square and loves it as much as I do.